Today we're going to work on workbook pages 48 and 49. Our goal for today is to talk about what makes a good summary and learn how to summarize a text by describing the most important details in our own words and leaving out our opinions. So first, let's talk about what a summary is. So summarize. When you summarize a text, you briefly describe the most important ideas in your own words. A summary starts by stating the central idea or what the text is mostly about. It supports the central idea with the most important or relevant details from the text. It does not include judgments or personal opinions. It finishes with the final thought-provoking detail. Okay, then they want us to identify elements of a summary. So read the summary of street smarts below. Identify and mark each element of the summary. So we're going to underline the central idea. We're going to put a check mark next to 4 relevant details that support the central idea and a star next to a final thought-provoking detail. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. And a hint, the central idea is usually what it is about, and sometimes it's usually towards the beginning of your paper or paragraph. All right. After being rescued from the streets, Kez Valdez formed an organization to help protect other homeless kids from the dangers of street life. Kez ran away from his abusive family when he was 4 and lived in a garbage dump. After being badly burned, he was rescued by a social worker who adopted him. Kez decided to help other street kids, so he founded the Champion Community Children. This charity has helped more than 10,000 homeless children in the Philippines by teaching them about hygiene and providing clothes and toiletries. Kez won the International Children's Peace Prize in 2012 for his work. So what is the central idea? What are we talking about? Okay, that's going to be right at the beginning, where it says, after being rescued from the streets, Kez Valdez formed an organization to help protect other homeless kids from the dangers of street life. So we want to underline this. Okay, they want us to put a check mark next to 4 relevant details that support the central idea. So let's talk about 4 things. Okay. So he was rescued from the streets. So we know that he ran away from his abusive family and lived in a garbage dump. Whoops, sorry, that's 1. After being burned, he was rescued by a social worker who adopted him. That's 2. He founded the Champion Community Children. And he has helped over 10,000 homeless children in the Philippines by teaching them about hygiene and providing clothes and toiletries. And the final thought-provoking detail is that he won the International Children's Peace Prize. So put a star there. Okay, so now we're going to go on to the next page. So they filled out part of this for us. We're going to fill out the central idea, the relevant details, and go from there. You may have to go back through your text if you don't know some of the information. So Malala Yousafzai has been a strong advocate for girls' education rights despite what happened to her. She was attacked or shot. Despite being shot, for her opinion or speaking out. However you want to write that. And then the Taliban closed Malala's school because why'd they close it? They did not or didn't believe girls should have an education. After Malala wrote and spoke about and then what did she speak about? The Taliban closing her school. She received what? She received death threats. On October 9th, 2012, Malala was... What happened? Remember, this is when she was on the bus. Malala was shot in the head by the Taliban. And a last detail, what happened after she was shot? What happened afterwards? So it kind of like became like a national news, and everybody found out about it, and it created what? Do you remember? It created the Malala Fund, which promoted girls' educational rights. So it created the Malala Fund, which promoted girls' rights. All right, so now our final thought or detail. What was the final thing? In 2014, what happened? Would she win? The Nobel, that should be capitalized. She won the Nobel Peace Prize. All right, so then what you want to do is take all of this information and we're going to put it together in one final paragraph. You want to use transition words. So you would start by saying Malala Yousafzai has been a strong advocate for girls' education rights despite being shot for her opinion. Period. Then you would say, when the Taliban closed Malala's school because they didn't believe girls should have an education, Malala spoke out against them. Period. After Malala wrote and spoke out about the Taliban closing her school, she received death threats. Period. On October 9, 2012, she was shot in the head by the Taliban. After being shot, the world came together and created the Malala Fund, which promoted girls' rights. In 2014, she won the Nobel Peace Prize. So go ahead and make sure you write that out. If you need to rewind it to help put that together, go ahead. But you're just using your summary and putting it together. If you have any questions, reach out to me.